Hello, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to my channel. Today's layout is for Cheeky Studio. I use the sketch that was posted on January 1 from Heather Little or Heather's Crafty Life, and there it is. I did a little bit of a different take on it, but I followed it. I just flipped it. And I did some stuff off camera so that I could be able to show you everything on camera what I did. So I cut out my title, and it's called I'll Always Be Daddy's Girl. And I decided to put this paper down just like the sketch shows, but I flipped it. And I put it down so that my title runs up and down instead of side by side. So my pictures and my title goes up and down instead of having the pictures on the left-hand side and my title on the right-hand side. And there's the mixed media that I'm going to show you. And I decided not to use the inklings that I showed in there, but I did use everything else once I get going. So I'm going to put down the white gesso, and as I am rubbing this all around, I'm going to explain what I did off camera. So I used some flowers from one of Paige Evans' collections that I had in my stash. I think it was Take Me Away, I think, but I'm not for sure. I can't remember. And then I used Wildflowers Set 2 and 4 that I got in a kit earlier, but everybody else got it for the January's layout or for our January's design team. I just happened to order mine earlier than when our kits got shipped. So you'll see that I've been doing this, and then I backed my letters with one of the older collections. I can't remember. It was the collection that was before Take Me Away. And I just backed all of the little holes. And you'll see as I start to lay down the title, you'll see what I'm talking about. So here I go with the mixed media. And I'm going to forewarn you, at first this really kind of scared me. And it wasn't the fact that I don't use mixed media on my layouts or any of that sort. It's just, it wasn't quite what I expected. But it turns out really well at the end with the still shots and everything. So as this is going, I am going to tell you I used the mixed media spray that I got in my kit, and it's the Vibez Don't Rain on My Parade, and that's the navy bluish color that you're seeing there. It matches really well with the papers that I backed my title with. And then here I go in. The first thing that I sprayed down was the Spritz, and it's called Ruby. Now this was out of my stash, and you can find that on the Shimmerz website, because I do know that it was in my stash and not coming in with the kit. And then I took the two gelatos, and they were called Metallic Melon and Ganova. And those were the ones that I just used around the edges, and I used my finger to smudge them in. Because of the gesso being laid down, it works out perfect that you can just smudge. I don't use much water on this at all. Actually, I don't use any water at all. I do use my packaging technique, and then I do use my wipies that I have here. There you go. You'll see me doing the smudging that I do with the gelatos. And I just place it everywhere. At first I thought, like I said, this is looking like, oh my gosh, a hot mess, Miranda. But it turns out really well, I promise you. So keep on watching and watch how this page just comes alive. I took two sets of flowers that I had. I cut it in half and I placed it on the top and the bottom of this green paper that you see. And I took flowers from the collections of set 2 and 4, and I placed it behind it and I made it a collage. That's what I did all off camera. And here I go, I'm just putting down kind of like droplets of the mixed media or the Spritz. And I finally figured out how in the world to get the drops. This took me forever. I was like, I don't understand why I can't get this. And then finally it just dawned on me. I'm like, why am I trying to pat it? Why don't I just drop it? Duh. You know, the things that we learn over time, even though we've been doing the same thing over and over and over, you still learn new things. And the theme for this month is called New Beginnings. And I really wanted to take a little bit of a turn. So I'm done. As you can tell, I flipped over and I'm done. So I adhered the pictures above and the top of the flowers that I was talking about. I adhered those on the bottom and the top. And I already backed my pictures with black for around the border. And then I placed the word B, in the middle of the two pictures. And I did a journaling tag with another tag inside my picture or behind the picture. And I used an envelope that I had to place them in so that you can, if you decide to want to catch the journaling on this, I placed it in the inside instead of it being on the outside of my layout or on the layout like I normally do. And then I placed thread on the back, and I do place thread throughout my layout as well. As you can see, I pulled out all my thread there that I'm going to maybe possibly use. I don't use all the colors, but I do, for the most part, have it all down. As I'm adhering this stuff, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pictures and why I did it. Our title, our theme, I should say, is called New Beginnings. And I wanted to document this, that yes, my daughter will always be my daddy's girl. You know, I will always be that. And she really will always be a daddy's girl. It will never change. But I wanted it to be like, even though that I'm always going to be daddy's girl, our adventures are always going to change. They're going to be different each year. And I wanted this to be like a new beginning again for 2018, for the new adventures that that we're going to go on, or my husband and my daughter's going to go on. So here I go, I back down the pictures, and I put one on foam tape, but I backed the other with just regular tape because of the packaging that I used. It poofed them up just enough to be the same height. And the adhesive that I'm using to back down my title and everything throughout, I did not realize I grabbed my deco foiling adhesive instead of my mixed media adhesive. I don't know what I was thinking. I think it's because my family was on winter break with me, and they were all home, and they've been home, and they're going to be home for a while yet, because when I do this layout, this is going to go up on the 11th of January, and when I filmed this was the week in between Christmas and New Year's, and my family was home. And I think between them wanting me for everything and me trying to get layouts done and processed and everything, that I think I was just flustered, not knowing that I was really flustered, and grabbed the wrong adhesive. It works. So there's my daughter. My daughter wanted, sorry, I had to help her with some Play-Doh that she wanted. She wanted some cupcakes and couldn't quite get it out, and I realized that her Play-Doh was dry, and so I had to go change. So you'll see that it kind of flips again, and it's because I left to go help her quick, and then I came back. But there I go. I placed everything down, and I really like how this is starting to come together. Now you see that I've got big blobs still available and really out in the open in the beginning, or up on top and towards the bottom. You will see that I start to add things to hide that big, like, mixed media with flowers, and then it's just like hints of it being out. And I covered a lot of this with a lot of my title, obviously, and then other little things that you'll see me put in here throughout. And it really looks good now, but when I first started, so that's when I left and came back. And then those are the two flower sets, because I'm sorry, I forgot to show you guys that in the beginning. I was going to try to place these down where the flowers were at, and they just didn't look right, so you'll see me place them on the sides, just to give a little bit of, I don't know, color or whatever on the sides of my photos. But I place the flowers that you see me kind of putz around with. I do place those, and I keep them there. So that you see flowers, I kind of did like what you call a tier. I have big flowers at the beginning and the bottom, And then I placed little flower clusters on the top and the bottom of my photo. So it really follows down the line really well. And I tried to make sure that I kept them even down the middle. And just so that it really looks good in my eyes. I hope that you guys enjoyed this process. I'm sorry that I did a little bit off camera, but I really wanted to do some of the tedious work off camera instead of doing a lot of that on camera, because we all know how to do this stuff. We all know how to back. But if you don't, let me know in the comments below, and I will definitely make sure to comment back, because I do try to comment on everybody's comments, you know, reply back if you guys have any questions or whatever. So there, that's the take. That's what I was telling you. I did that envelope that went in and out, and I can play with that take. I did not do the journaling. I'm not sure what I really want to say yet. I got to sit down and be in a good mindset, because I really want to explain why I did what I did for this layout, and what I hope for my husband and my daughter throughout their adventures through 2018. And before I go, you'll see me still go, and I'll finish up the layout. But before I go, please make sure that you hit the red button for to get more notifications from Cheeky Studio and any of my other layouts, because I do try to have at least a good 2 to 3 layouts a week on my channel. And then also make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, any of that kind of stuff. My code for Cheeky Studio, if you want to order any of the products that I have talked about, it is Miranda10, and I will have all of the descriptions, all of that information in the description down below. Also the groups and everything else to where you can get the sketch. Sorry, I couldn't think of the words today. The sketch, and also to follow along with, I will give you the hashtags so that you can be in the winning for this sketch. There's I think $5 off of your purchase is the winning, I think, but I will link everything down below. I can't quite remember what Tuesday decided to do for this month. But there I am. I'm placing some of the leaves in there, and I'm just finishing up the layout. I do have close-ups here at the end, and you will see me wave off here shortly. But I hope to check it out. Go check out the group, check out her website, and use my discount code to get a little bit off on your purchase. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye!